Hello, I am Centimus Prime, and here I will be unboxing and reviewing the LEGO Ninjago Dragons Rising set number 71827 Zane's Battle Suit Mech. So starting off, we will be taking a look at the packaging itself. Here it is, here's a look at the front. We get a good shot of the set itself, as well as the Lego and Ninjago logos, as well as the sort of like box art kind of thing here up in the corner for the for this for like the wave that this set was released in. Down here we have like a roster list of the minifigures included, as well as on this side we have the recommended age, the set number, the name of the set, as well as the number of pieces used to build this set. Now going over on this side, not much going on this side. Got like lots of like little warning labels and stuff, as well as the box art continuing up here. Up here, got more stuff in different languages, as well as uh, Zane's Zane's minifigure, as like represented here as a 1-to-1 scaled image of him up in this corner. Down here, not much going on. You got like recycling preferences. You got scanning code, shopping, code, stuff you typically put on the bottom of your packaging. Up here we have some rather nice box art of Zane. We got like a nice art style thing going on with Zane here on this side. That's nice. And over here on the back, you get another look at the set display here on the back, as well as the Lego logo, as well as like the push tab thing that a lot of the Lego sets would recommend you to punch this in with your finger and tear it open. And so with that, let's go ahead and with that, that's pretty much it for the package. So let's go ahead and open it. Why not? There we go. I tend to open it like that. There we go. And let's see what we get inside. There we go. Set that off to the side. And here we have everything that comes inside. Everything we have the instructions, which will come in like a folded in half, which will be challenged to, as long as you like place under like some book, as long as you place it under like some like books and stuff, it should flatten out okay. You gotta like to build it your way. Okay. Here's how it looks in the back. We got like some parts. We have our parts lists. Shows off like the parts it uses, the list of parts it uses, and also advertises. And yeah, it also advertises other sets in this wave of Ninjago sets. And that's pretty much just about it for the instructions. That's fine. Now included, we have 2 baggies of parts, as well as 2 of these pieces that are separately packaged in here. We got 2 of these Ninjago like blade kind of pieces in gold. Very nice. Let's go ahead and open this up. So we'll separate these out by the bags they come in. There we go. And there we have that. We'll start off with I think these are the parts that got like a bag full of like some of your like larger pieces. Like you have your like mech torso frame thing. That's nice. You got something that does stick out. Something that does like stand out to me are these. This is like a fancy. Got like two of these pieces in this nice like translucent like blue color. These are nice. They definitely like add. They definitely would add like a good bit of like extra like flair to them. Looks rather elegant, rather sleek. It definitely like brings some like nice like curvature to some things. Like I can definitely see like some of the like I can and you can and they also like line up. It's rather neat. Those are like cool. Ooh, we got a couple of these in this azure color. In this light azure color. That is in this I guess yeah in the azure color. That's cool. We also got a couple of them in black, so that's great too. Got some minifigure parts, but we'll get to those later. We got a couple of these, a couple of each of these. These are the gold like shuriken things for that I guess represent like Zane's golden weapons, and what you're supposed to do here is actually like break these away, or like take these off of here. You're supposed to break these off to have your separate shurikens. And from the looks of it, and yeah, these are have like a rubbery feel to them, so that they don't feel too sharp. And don't worry about excess waste in this case, because in this case they actually have a anti-stud connection and to connect it to there and to add a little bit of extra detail. That's nice. I like that. Ooh, got like the sense that you got like the like rice hat in black. That's neat. Ooh, another one of these. That's cool. Another. This part's nice. This part's pretty neat. It has like a nice like rounded, smooth texture while still having a little bit of connection points on the top. That's nice. A good amount. Got a good amount of these. It's cool. As well as a couple of these interesting sort of pieces in this sand green color. That's nice. And as for the other pile, we got more minifigure parts. Oh, we got an interesting shoulder armor kind of thing. We also get a pair of these, but in gold. That's cool. Got some more translucent blue pieces, including a couple of these in translucent light blue. That's nice. Also, a good amount of mixel ball and socket joints. That's also really good to see. That's nice. I like that. The mixel ball and socket joints are always a nice thing to see. Ain't that neat? You got like one of these like Ninjago swords, like Ninjago katanas, but this time it's like it's done up in a translucent sort of glittery kind of plastic. Definitely makes it like look more like not sure how to describe it. It definitely looks definitely looks really neat. That's cool. This you got like one of these like rounded 2x2 tiles in gold, but with a rather nice printing on it. That looks rather nice. I like that. Look at that. You know what this looks like to me? You know, like I can definitely like see I can definitely like imagine someone using uh I can definitely imagine using this printed piece as like the center as like the centerpiece for a like Lego matrix of leadership of some sort, because you can definitely see it. It looks like it's a, especially from this angle, it looks like a gold orb with like a blue crystal like core to it. And yeah, like definitely like and you can definitely like especially like when like place like pieces around it, I can definitely see that happening. I might have to do I might do that. Oh, these are. We also got a couple of these and a couple of these, like leaf pieces in gold. That's nice for like decoration stuff. And you also got like some other bits and stuff here and there, including like some pieces dark, in the dark blue, some black spikes. But yeah, you do get some interesting pieces in here. I do like that. So let's go ahead and move those out of the way so I can go ahead and put them together and show you how they look fully built up. Alright, and with that, I have I have finished assembling the set, and we can uh, continue this by checking out the minifigures. So, makes sense. It is a set that is mostly focused on Zane, so it makes sense to start with Zane. He, of course, wields his iconic golden weapons of gold ice shurikens. Look, they look great. And of course, he does look really nice in that silver. Does have a sort of like battle ready, like angry expression on him. That's nice to see. Got some nice details on the back of his head. Yeah, here you get a closer look at what the printing looks like there. That's nice. Pants look good. You got a good amount of printing on them, as well as a good amount of printing on the torso. It just occurred to me, going by the fact that his torso and arms are significantly like different, and like silver matches with his silver head, and the fact that like he's wearing like the white pants. It just occurred to me that like this minifigure that this variation of Zane is depicted shirtless. Can't really unsee that, but hey, that's good. Love me them variants. Got really nice details in the printing. His core, his pecs, his abdomen, his spine, his shoulder blades. Got some really nice. Got some like is like well defined and chiseled robot uh Ninjoid. That's nice. Over here we have one of the like newer characters for the Ninjago Dragons Rising like show is a character named uh Wildfire. Yeah, Wildfire. There we go. I guess she's a fire themed character. Yeah, here we go. Look at this character. She's nice. Okay. Looks nice. Got some good printing on the legs and the torso. It's nice. Flip around. Got got some nice little like happy flames on the back. That's cool. She's of course wielding that glittery, like shiny, like special kind of katana blade. That's neat, I guess. Also got a pretty neat hairpiece, as well as a pretty good like snarling expression with a little bit of like wear and tear, like marks on battle scars on her cheek, or battle marks. No alternate face expression. That's fine. Yeah, definitely. That one's definitely cool. As well as this guy who is, I believe he's one of the. I believe this guy is one of the like leading. He's like one of the like leading. He's like one of the like leading like bad guys for like one of these for not the entire. I don't think it's the entirety of Dragons Rising, but I think it's like a portion. But I haven't seen Dragons Rising. But here's a character named Drix. He's a sort. That's and yeah, like going off the impressions, I haven't seen this character in the show. Haven't really seen this character in the show. Like going off of like my impressions of like how the minifigures looks and designs, he looks awesome. He does look really neat. As like just as like a minifigure design, like for like a bad guy like Ninjago like character. He looks really cool. He's got some like weird looking like scythe. I can only I guess they kind of look like scythes, like smaller scythes like weapons in a way. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure like exactly sure like what these weapons exactly are. And I was like, and I definitely was like questionable about them like in the box, like on the box art. But after like putting them together and like getting to like pose around with it a little bit, these things look, these things actually like are actually like kind of cool. It's kind of gives me the uh kind of gives me the idea that these are sort of like weapons designed to be like insectoid like legs, which definitely makes sense because if you look at it, does have like a really cool like insectoid kind of design. Kind of reminds me of Kamen Rider in a way. Got some nice like shoulder armor. It's really cool. Got like a neat hat. Got some printing on the back of his head. That's how the printing on his face looks. Really nice. And also like some really nice printing on the torso and legs. And if we remove the head and torso armor, we also get to see more of that nice printing on the back of the torso. That is really nice. I will say I do not know anything about Drix aside from maybe he's a bad guy, but even then, and I'm not entirely sure because I haven't really seen the newer Dragon's Rising shows, the newer Ninjago stuff, but he looks awesome. Like just as like a nice like sort of Kamen Rider inspired kind of insectoid like villain character for Ninjago. This guy looks pretty sick. He looks awesome. Nice, has like some really nice printing. Got some cool, got some cool weapons. That's really awesome. So, my opinion, minifigures that came with this set, really nice. I like them. Don't really have a complaint about any of the minifigures at all. Now it's time for the main set itself. Like you're more like yeah, you do get some nice minifigures, but you also get a little bit of a mech. Yeah, also get a tiny little Zane mech that comes with it. So in it you have a small little Zane mech, as well as a pair of these larger katana weapons with like some extra nice bits of like decorative details and hilts, so that so that they just clip onto the so they could just clip onto the like the hands, if you can, well, you can call them hands, and you can have them like you can have the mech wheel to those. No, it's fine. I will admit the swords do look nice. Do have like a nice feel to them. And because they use like the bar, like the clip and bar connection, you can't just give the minifigures these weapons too, you can just give the minifigures these weapons, so that way you can give, so if you want you can just give a minifigure like a ginormous like anime sword if you want to. That's cool. I like that. Okay. The swords are neat too. I like that. And so for the mech itself, here's how the mech looks. Turn it around. So it looks from the back. Not too bad. You get an extra fair bit of little bits of detail on the back of there, but aside from that, not a whole lot going on back here. Alright. We can of course flip. Now, do you get like a rather neat looking, I guess, like mini mech kind of thing? I'm not sure if this is one of those Ninjago mechs that are necessarily part of that SCCBS thing that they like to do nowadays, but I don't think it can be because they don't have the limb pieces. I don't think, but I don't know. I don't know. Regardless, regardless, it's a has a decent. It has some details here and there, and yes, this is a Zane mech, which means that Zane can pilot it. So this can open. You can grab your Zane, grab the Zane minifigure. You can disarm him, so you can sit Zane down, have him sit down in the mech, flip. Hold on. Are we supposed to? Hold on. Okay, I guess it just sticks. Okay, that's fine. Alright, I'll talk about that. Then I guess it just flips back up like that. And as for the ice shurikens, you can just clip them into the sides of the mech. You can just clip them onto the mech, giving us a nice convenient spot for weapon storage. And that does look and that does still look pretty neat. So here we have Zane piloting his little mech. Here it is next to a minifigure. Next to the other minifigures. It still towers over them, but it is a pretty small mech. It is a pretty small mech. Now looking at this with Zane in there piloting, and yeah, definitely looking at this angle, he is exposed. He is exposed. He's just exposed and half naked in there. He's almost like a Kill character in that way. He's almost like in that way. Like, I'm not exactly sure. How well armed. It's not exactly well armored. But he should be fine. He's Zane. He's Zane. Of course he's fine. He's gonna be fine. He's Zane. He's always like Zane's always super cool no matter what he does. And going for articulation now, you do get a couple of ball joints in the mix of ball joints in the shoulders, which have like a decent range of movement. Now, some details and stuff does get in the way a little bit, but overall it's definitely fine. Got ball joint in the wrists, no elbows, but wrists, and those have good range to them. That's really cool. Got clips for hands. This is on a hinge. This is on a Technic peg, so the waist it does have a waist and it does swivel. The hips are also on a ball joint. So you can put those forward and back. You tilt them a little bit. You have that sort of range going on with your ball joints, and also ball joints in the ankles. So yeah, they can go up and down. They have good range there too. So no matter like what pose you're in, he's able to hold the ankles down. He's able to have the mech's feet flat on the ground. That's nice. Now, in terms of details, you do get a little. like the legs, there's not a whole lot going on. Like you might get a little bit of light piping here in the legs because of the clear pieces, but aside from that, it's mostly just what you see is what you get kind of thing there. The waist is the waist is rather nice. I do like the combination. I do like the com here. I do like the combination of like the dark blue, the hints of gold, as well as small touches of brown in there too to help tie that together. This is weirdly, this portion here is honestly weirdly my favorite part of the color scheme. Definitely like feels like it's going for its own color scheme down here. Which can throw the rest of the mech off a little bit, but on its own, it does look rather neat. The arms is like where all the blue is pretty much. You have like the azure pieces make up the bulk of the arms with some of that clear blue, definitely adding that extra flair of like elemental flair to them. Definitely like adding a little bit of the ice elemental stuff, but admittedly that's really it. Back here you get a little bit of nice detail here. It's simple, but it works. I feel it works. It's simple. It's definitely like a nice minimal amount of greebling and stuff, and I feel like it fits where it is. Admittedly, the chest portion does look really nice, uh, especially with that matrix looking printed piece. But from most other angles, it definitely looks like it's a bit higher up than the rest of the mech, as well as it just feels a little bit uh, this joint a little bit too far forward makes it look less connected to the mech, in my opinion. And yeah, I'm looking at the mech from, in my opinion, the worst angle to look at this mech is admittedly from like an upward, like bird's eye angle like this, where you can definitely see where you can definitely see the flaws in the torso design.